All right, we got free NFL picks here for Saturday, August 24th. Tony T. Our NFL preseason pick show here for Saturday will feature all 8 games. Before we get into just a couple things, be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free NFL picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from the major sports, making it a great time to subscribe. Guys, give us a like, a thumbs up on this video. It really helps our channel out a lot. Then visit our site, tonyspicks.com. We are a multi-capper site showcasing top performers in our industry. Click the links to the hot cappers, get signed up to our long-term passes. Top performers like Brandon Check for the year, Ruben Marble doing great. Doubles has been hot the last 30 days. Mindy Hahn up on the leaderboard as well. Ron Hahn, Brandon Check, as we talked about, is just continuing to smoke it up there. Joseph Schultz, guys, you'll find latest print picks here center of the page. Best bets and more will be up for you for Saturday. Just a reminder here, the one-day passes are profit guaranteed, meaning the must turn a profit or amount purchase will be credited back to your account for site credits. That's profit guarantee. You'll save 15% off using our promo code TonyT at checkout. Click the link in the description and get signed up. Next level service for those big bankroll bettors, executive service, giving you picks throughout the betting cycle to ensure you get the plays, also to ensure to help you get the best numbers. Call or text 323-607-0203. We also rate plays. If you bet $500 or more per game, this would be within your price range. All right, let's get this one started. Rams and Texans NFL pick for Saturday. LA Rams 2-0 after their 13-9 road win at the Chargers. The Rams always sit starters in the preseason, and the Chargers sat theirs here. Stetson Bennett went the whole way, going 17 of 31 for 213 yards with a touchdown and interception. They finished with 338 yards, rushed for 4.2 yards at carry. The Rams held the Chargers to 259 yards with 160 passing. Houston 2-0 in the preseason after their 28-10 home win to the Giants. Daniel Jones saw extended work, hitting 11 of 18 for 138 yards and 2 interceptions. Tommy DeVito, 10 of 19, 75 yards. They finished with 279 yards, 3.4 yards at carry. On defense, New York allowed 369 yards to the Texans with 255 passing yards. The teams had a joint practice on Thursday. LA plays no starters in the preseason. Stetson Bennett, Dresser Wynn are the 2 available quarterbacks with the suspension of Jimmy Garoppolo. Texans head coach Ryan saw this as a final exam for his reserves, as the team must reduce from 90 to 53 to their roster, hinting that starters may not start here. The backup QBs for the Texans are Davis Mills, Case Keenum, and Tim Boyle for that battle. But you look at here at the Texans defense in their past 2 preseason games, allowing 11.5 points a game. The Rams have averaged just 13 points and allowed an average of 10.5 points this preseason. LA was the second lowest scoring offense in the preseason last year, and looks like this season as well. Play LA and Houston under 34. Steelers and Lions NFL pick here for Saturday. Pittsburgh 0-2 in the preseason after their 9-3 home defeat to Buffalo. Russell Wilson completed 8 of 10 passes for 47 yards. Justin Fields 11 of 17 for 92 yards. Pittsburgh finished with only 219 offensive yards, 3.9 yards per rush. On defense, they held the Bills to only 245 yards, 78 through the air. Detroit improved to 1-1 in the preseason with their 24-23 road win at KC. The Lions sat starters with the Chiefs playing theirs for over 1 quarter. Nate Sudfeld was 12 of 15 for 150 yards and a touchdown and a pick. Hendon Herndon contributed with 12 of 15 completions for 150 yards. The Lions finished with 459 yards, 342 passing yards. On defense, they allowed 276 yards to the Chiefs with 202 through the air. Pittsburgh will again split work between Russell Wilson and Justin Fields. Offensive line performed poorly last week. Backup quarterbacks Nate Sudfeld and Hendon Hooker will once again split work as they battle for the number 2. The Lions held up okay facing the Chiefs starters and covered a 7-point dogs here. Lions backup receivers are talented. The Steelers here are averaging 7.5 points a game in the preseason. Played Detroit +7. Vikings and the Eagles NFL pick here for Saturday. Minnesota 2-0 in the preseason after their 27-12 road win at Cleveland. Nick Mullins 11 of 21 passing for 135 yards and a touchdown. Jaron Hall 4 of 5 passing, 87 yards. They finished with 303 yards, 113 rushing for 4.2 yards a carry. On defense, the Vikings allowed 288 yards to the Browns, 233 yards through the air. Philadelphia 2-0 in the preseason after their win at New England, 14-13. Tanner McKee, 15 of 19, 140 yards. Kenny Pickett, 11 of 13 for 67 yards. Will Greer saw limited work, going 3 of 5 for 35 yards. Philadelphia finished with 283 yards with 210 passing. Defensively, the Eagles held the Patriots to 159 yards, 90 through the air. Jaron Hall will get the start for the Vikings. The backups are Nick Mullins and Matt Corral, who are expected to get some. Corral's expected to get some snaps here. Starter Sam Darnold will sit. Philadelphia is unlikely to play starters as they look to cut, remember, down to 53 from 90 and fill those reserve roles. The Eagles' lack of scoring this preseason the concern. The Vikings are averaging 25 points per game this preseason, playing Minnesota here plus the 2. All right, Panthers and Bills NFL pick. This one here on Saturday. Carolina 0-2 in the preseason after their 15-12 home defeat to the Jets. Jack Plummer hit 11 of 18 for 42 yards. Jake Luton contributed with 2 of 2 passing, 19 yards. The Panthers finished with 156 yards, with 56 passing. On defense, they held the Jets to 202 yards, 85 through the air. 10 penalties for the Panthers for 84 yards. Carolina expected to start Bryce Young and the starters. Their head coach plan is to give them some exposure. That's the key here. The 2 healthy backups are Andy Dalton and Jack Plummer, but I don't know if Dalton will play. He was injured early in the preseason. Jake Luton is also injured. The Bills will sit their starters. With Mitch Trubisky banged up, the healthy backups are Ben DiNucci and Anthony Brown Jr. Brown was recently signed as he was cut early in the preseason by the Raiders. Carolina was the second lowest scoring team in the preseason last year. This year they're averaging 7.5 points a game. The Bills have averaged 7.5 points per game in the preseason as well. But Anthony Brown has a running ability to move the chains. It could have some success against the Panther backups. So we'll take Buffalo plus 4.5. Ravens and the Packers NFL pick for action on Saturday. Baltimore improved to 2-1 this preseason with their 13-12 home win to Atlanta. Both teams sat their starters. Josh Johnson, 11 of 11 for 120 yards and a touchdown. Emory Jones, 7 of 9 passing, 100 yards and a touchdown. Devin Leary saw limited action, going 3 of 5 for 24 yards. The Ravens finished with 301 yards with just 2.4 yards per rush. On defense, they allowed 343 yards to the Falcons with 151 rushing yards for 5 yards a carry. Green Bay fell to 1-1 after their 27-2 road defeat at Denver. Denver played starters. Green Bay did not. Michael Pratt was 10 of 16 for 52 yards. Sean Clifford hit 6 of 10 here for 43 yards. The Packers finished with only 168 yards, 3.5 yards a carry. On defense, Green Bay allowed 263 yards to the Broncos with 154 passing. The teams completed in a joint practice this week. Baltimore starters won't play. Media speculation is the Packers veteran starters will sit based on their volume of work during the joint practice. The backups behind Jackson are Josh Johnson, Devin Leary, and Emory Jones. Sean Clifford and Michael Pratt are in a battle for the backup role here. The Ravens defense has held teams at an average of 12.5 points a game. Quarterback rotation uninspiring here. We'll take Baltimore and Green Bay under 34. Chargers and Cowboys NFL pick for Saturday. LA Chargers fell to 0-2 in the preseason, a 13-9 home defeat to the Rams. Both teams sat starters. Easton Stick completed 8 of 13 throws, 85 yards and an interception. Luis Perez, 13 of 20 for 78 yards. The Chargers finished with 259 yards of passing, 99 rushing for 3.7 yards a carry. On defense, they held the Rams to 338 yards with 213 passing. Dallas improved to 1-1 this preseason, a 27-12 road win at Las Vegas. Dallas sat their starters against the Raiders team that played them. Trey Lance, 15 of 23 for 151 yards and a touchdown. Cooper Rush, 1 of 3 for 6 yards. Dallas finished with 294 yards with 137 passing yards for 4.4 yards a carry. On defense, they allowed 315 yards to the Raiders with 247 passing. Neither team will play starters. Easton Stick is expected to play for the entire game at quarterback. Luis Perez will only come in if an injury to Stick. John Harbaugh during the preseason is about really evaluating the back half of the roster. Cooper Rush and Trey Lance are the two available quarterbacks for the Cowboys. Chargers have been held to a total of 12 points in their 2 preseason games. Dallas' defense in preseason giving up 12 a game, by LA and Dallas under 33.5. Giants and the Jets NFL pick here for Saturday. Giants 1-1 after a 28-10 road defeat to Houston. Both teams played starters. Daniel Jones 11 of 18 for 138 yards and 2 picks. Tommy DeVito 10 of 19 for 75 yards. The Giants finished with 279 yards with 74 rushing for 3.5 yards a carry. On defense, the Giants allowed 369 yards to the Texans with 255 passing. The Jets are now 2-0, a 15-12 road win at Carolina. The Jets and Panthers did sit starters in the game. Adrian Martinez 7 of 17 passing for 67 yards. Andrew Peasley 7 of 11 for 33 yards. New York Jets finished with 202 yards in the game, but 117 rushing for 4.2 yards a carry. On defense, the Jets held the Panthers to 156 yards, 56 passing. The teams went through a joint practice this week. Daniel Jones unlikely to play. Drew Lock banged up. Tommy DeVito looks like he'll play the entire game for the Giants at quarterback. Aaron Rodgers will not play. And backup Jordan Travis is out. Their starters will not play either. The option at quarterback for the Jets are Tyrod Taylor and Adrian Martinez and Andrew Peasley. The Jets' defense has allowed an average of 14.5 points this preseason. The running ability of Martinez and Peasley could help the Jets late in this game. We'll take the Jets here plus 2.5. Browns and Seahawks NFL pick for action on Saturday. Cleveland fell to 0-2 in the preseason with their 27-12 home defeat to Minnesota. Both teams sat starters. Tyler Huntley 14 of 20 for 135 yards and 2 interceptions. Dorian Thompson-Robinson 13 of 17, 126 yards and a pick. Browns finished with 288 yards with only 56 rushing for 2.4 yards a carry. On defense, the Browns allowed 303 yards to the Vikings, 190 passing. Seattle fell to 1-1, a 16-15 road defeat to Tennessee. Both teams sat starters. Sam Howell 11 of 14 for 153 yards. P.J. Walker 4 of 8 for 38 yards. The Seahawks finished with 239 yards, 64 rushing for 3.6 yards a carry, only 2 of 9 on third down. On defense, they allowed 338 yards to the Titans with 222 passing. Cleveland expected to play starters for a quarter, but quarterback Deshaun Watson experienced soreness this week and was limited in practice on Wednesday. Also, the offensive line banged up, so it remains to be seen if Watson will line up under center with the backups on the line. The quarterbacks behind Watson, Jameis Winston, Tyler Huntley, and Dorian Thompson-Robinson. Seattle expects to play their starters for a bit here behind Geno Smith, Sam Howell, and P.J. Walker. The Browns' offense averaging 11 points per game, while the defense has given up an average of 25. The Seahawks defense has limited opponents to an average of 9.5 points a game. Play Seattle plus 1. All right, that was our NFL pick show here for action on Saturday. Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. We have free NFL picks updated all season long. Free picks every day from the major sports, making it a great time to subscribe. Guys, give us a like, a thumbs up on this video. It really helps our channel out a lot. Builds up our audience, and don't forget to visit our site Tony'sPicks.com for our best plays. Our premium picks are there. Remember the promo code TonyT at checkout. We'll save that 20%. We'll save you that 15% off. And again, for the big bankroll bettors, our executive service, call or text 323-607-0203. We'll also have for you on the channel some college football and MLB, the entire card for you there. Ramon's coming in with WNBA. Also, is putting together FCS versus FCS or FCS college football picks in the games. I'll have the two FBS games. I'm Tony T. We'll talk to you later.